All right, hey everybody, welcome back to our 5-minute follow-up. And today I brought back Daniel with Unstack. Daniel, a very quick recap. Why don't you give everybody a quick reminder who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for having me back. Daniel Sheilds, I do sales and partnerships for Unstack. Unstack is a technology platform that gives businesses the ability to grow, measure, and scale their digital presence.
Perfect. So Daniel, this 5-minute follow-up, we're going to try to obviously keep to 5 minutes, but I want it to be very meaty and tangible for people to actually get something out of it. On the podcast, you started going down a direction about technology and the stack of technology and how it really takes up people's time and how valuable the time is, and what you could be using with that time really. So I want to give you a little bit more of a leash on this and really be able to explain how that works and how you guys have been able to figure this out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, yeah, definitely agree on all. And I think the big thing there is, a lot of times time is almost as valuable as, things like customer and acquisition. And especially with, smaller teams and a startup like companies where, the more that you can do within the day is ultimately only going to allow you to grow faster.
Right.
And what Unstack does, and in the a part of the crux of the problem that we solve, is not only was things like creating your digital presence, so your website, tracking how that customer is first engaging with your brand down to the point that you would want to consider a conversion, whether it be driving a lead or the actual sale itself. That became, like you said, very, very time consuming and also very complicated in a sense as well. So not only were you taking time from a lot of people, you were working across a lot of different teams. And per se, maybe the team that was responsible for driving those outcomes wasn't actually the one that got to act upon a lot of it. You had to go from your marketing team to your engineering team to your sales team to your design team, whatever it may have been. And so not only does that get time consuming with that many moving pieces, things can always get lost or forgotten upon or not done, the way the person responsible for their outcome would have totally wanted it. So what Unstack does is give people the ability to do that themselves. So hone in on the core skill set of your sales team and what information is going to be needed for them as you start to pass along this digital information. Your marketing and your design team not necessarily has the software engineering degree that would need to get things live or connect data across different things. So the first thing is with Unstack is making that very easy, very digestible, and then producing results that are relevant to the business. I think sometimes people get caught up in the data, and they don't always see like how this affects their business, right? Blog A got 30,000 views and it generated, 350 leads, but how many of those actually were in your core persona to convert to a sale, and going across the funnel to get that relevant data to the relevant people is huge. And on top of that, what you really need is to not suffer performance wise. So, we knew that we're going to solve the problem of time and effort on different professionals side of things, but there was going to be that constant question, well, if it's this easy, does it perform the way the more complicated, more costly solution does? So that was definitely huge in the creation of everything. And then as you start to look at what the outcomes of solving for those pain points are, you get to really actually dive into maybe some of the more fun side of businesses. So if you're not spending all this time tracking your marketing and sales data and creating new blogs and getting them live, you can do things like look into how can we possibly establish a partnership program or maybe affiliate marketing program. How can our team get this information across the board in a customized dashboard? All things that eventually will hit those end goals for the businesses. But when you're kind of stuck in the weeds and doing these different things that are super time consuming and super kind of not always streamlined, I think sometimes you get stuck in those weeds and you don't get to actually step back, look at the full picture, and look at some of the other things that can drive businesses forward or cause success.
Awesome. Well, and you heard the timer go off, so our 5 minutes is about up. And the problem is I could probably talk to you about this half the day, right? And I'm sure half our audience could probably do the same. So I would imagine if you're watching this and you're having an issue with time consuming technology, Daniel is right up your alley. And I would highly recommend that you reach out and try to, you know, pick his brain a little more and become involved with Unstack. They have a phenomenal affiliate program, which they just launched. I know you were going to head in that direction, but I figured I'd just throw it out there for you. But they have a great affiliate program. When your customers are selling for you, it's your world just opens up. So Daniel, thank you very much again for joining us on our 5-minute follow-up. As always, you're awesome to talk to, and I appreciate it very much, sir.
Right back at you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for having me for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. So long.